for Thug 2 Story Easy All Goals, there are a few, like, preset things that you have to do before you even think about running. First of all, you're going to want to unlock a trick called the Hot Rod, which you unlock by completing Classic Mode on Sick difficulty. The Hot Rod is a very essential part of the run because it gives you a speed boost whenever you use it, unlike every other special manual in the game, and you will be using it pretty much every time you get the chance during the run, which saves quite a bit of time. Alternatively, if you do not want to complete Classic on Sick for whatever reason, or you have a slow computer, there's an alternate called the Poly Butt Manual, which you can unlock by completing Story Mode on Normal. And both function very similarly, except Poly Butt Manual activates a tad slower, which is a little less useful, but it does not have the particles which Hot Rod has, which can lag some computers. Now, speaking of that, yes, or you can download a already completed save file, which I would recommend that more if you don't want to play Classic. Second of all, you're going to want to make sure you're running on decent hardware. So Windows 10 is pretty much shooting yourself in the foot for any Tony Hawk game. So if you have the option, run it on Windows 7 or 8, and you'll save all the hassle that you pretty much need. So you'll want to run on Windows 7 or 8, but if you have no choice but to run on Windows 10 and don't feel like reverting back to one of those, and you have an NVIDIA card, because AMD works fine with Windows 10, but if you have an NVIDIA card and Windows 10, you are going to get some massive lag with particles and when the time of day changes, which is very fun. Is there anything else? Oh yes, and one very, very, very important thing you'll want is something called the Mod 1.3. Essentially, Underground 2 was a pretty bad PC port, and there is something in this game called Focus Mode, which is essential for the story element. And when you go into Focus Mode normally, it slows down the game and it plays some particle effects. But without the mod, the particle effects, for whatever reason, will stay on screen and completely blur your vision after you've activated Focus Mode. Whereas the mod just removes them completely so you can actually see when you're playing the game, which is pretty damn important. It also adds a few other features that aren't essential, but it also improves the game a little bit more. So those are the biggie ones that you'll want to have in terms of hardware before you start. I guess we should actually start with a new character. So, Thug 2 Story is very interesting because once you select your difficulty, watch the cutscene. Keep all this. The game doesn't start right now, technically, so you'll have option, before you increase your stats though, you can go into here and edit all your tricks that you want to. So, for your grab tricks, you'll want to make sure all your 4 cardinal direction tricks are ones that are pretty quick to activate, because there are 2 trick to the beat missions in the game, but only one of them uses grab tricks. But you'll also be doing a lot of stuff during that mission, so you'll want to make sure they are quick tricks and activate very quickly. I recommend Shifty, not Shifty again, Airwalk. So the Shifty, Airwalk, and then your other ones can be whichever you want, but I personally prefer the Crossbone and the Cannonball. Now, once you have that set up, you'll want to exit out of it. Well, actually first, before you do that, you'll want to save a new file. So I'll just make this one tutorial for convenience sake. And then you'll just want to quit out of story mode before you increase any of your stats or go into Boston, which is what starts the timer. Because the training goals are not required for all goals, which is nice, because they don't give you any points for them in terms of the main story. Now, After you exit out of story mode and you have your save files saved, you can go into the Freescape menu, and you'll have all of your characters here. But as a word of warning, you will not have any of these characters unlocked if you have not completed story mode before. So I'd recommend playing all the way through story mode and unlocking every single character that is considered a guest character. So that includes Ben Franklin, Bullfighter, Graffiti Tagger, Shrimp Vendor, and the Jester. As well as Ryan Sheckler, actually. I don't know why he's over here. So you'll want to make sure they are all unlocked before you start here as well. I suppose I should have mentioned that at the beginning. Now, through here, you can edit all the pros that you'll be using tricks. So, everyone in this menu that you'll be using is Tony Hawk, Bob Burnquist, Bam Margera, Mike V, but you also might want to give tricks to Rodney Mullen, as I'll explain it in a second, and then every single secret character, except for Shrek. Shrek is not part of the mission, unfortunately. So, what you can do is go into this menu and edit their tricks. I'd recommend giving all of them a decently fast air trick, but it's not really required. But I like to have it. But the one thing that I would recommend putting on every character, which is pretty much required, is to have the hot rod. So you can just go in here, bind your hot rod to whatever binding you enjoy, and then put it on every single character. So have fun with that one. I'll just put it on a few for terms of saving time. Actually, now that I think about it, I should put it on every character. Okay, we'll be here for a minute. Oh, actually, I'm glad I'm going through all these menus. So there are a few characters that you do not want to screw with their tricks. For one, well, is there? It might just be Bam. At least for Bam, make sure you don't get rid of his grind and barf, because that is required for a mission in Berlin. You want to make sure that is not tampered with, because that would be bad news bears, and you'd be unable to complete the mission without menuing a lot. Excuse me for a minute while I give Hot Rod to everyone. I should also note that you may want to rebind some of their both grab and flip tricks as well, because as you can see, all of the guest characters, they have pretty bad grab tricks. They have stuff like the crossbone and the mute, which are very inefficient, and they're bad for creating special, which I will explain when we get in game. But I'd also recommend giving them a Madonna, Japan, or a Shifty, or all three if you prefer that like I do. So they have Hot Rod, and I'd recommend doing that for every secret character. You'll be playing as Ben Franklin, Graffiti Tagger, and yeah, those are going to be the big ones. So if you put any edited grab tricks or special tricks, I'd recommend putting it on those two, if anything. Oh, sorry this is taking a while, but it's part of the experience. So this is so much fun, guys. Try this. Okay, now that everyone I need is equipped with a hot rod, that just leaves your character. So, do your trick menu. I'd recommend editing your tricks your grab tricks as I said before. In terms of flip tricks, I'd get rid of the south flip and ollie north, because these are just bails waiting to happen. So replace them with some other trick that won't screw you over. And special tricks. This is where we get into pretty much the important stuff. So for one, if you haven't figured it out by now, you're going to need a hot rod. Secondly, you're going to want a fast air trick that gives you a decent amount of points but activates very quickly. I recommend either hard flip, late flip, ghetto bird, or something like, I guess that's about it, no problem, 900 I guess. But the most efficient one is going to be a semi flip, which gives you 2,500 points and is able to be landed on flat ground, so it's fairly quick. Why is there a COD Soldier in Thug 2? That's a good question, and one I do not have an answer to. These are pretty much the only special tricks you're going to need, but I recommend getting a high point one, just in case you need to get points quickly for something. So I recommend the Indy 900, and a special grind is going to be useful in Australia, and that's really about it. There's no need for it really anywhere else. If you are playing story normal or story sick all goals, these are going to be a lot more important, but in terms of easy, you're just going to want these two. And that covers all the tricks that you'll need to do. So after you've done that, go down here, save your game, and you should be ready to go. But one more thing, if you want to create your character, you can. It won't affect anything. You can edit your board however you want, and it will be fine. As well as give yourself custom stickers, graffiti, all that junk. Alright, now start the run. So, oh, yes, one more thing. Don't accidentally hit new story mode. You'll want to, if you like reset or want to start over again, load your game progress and select the one that you saved after editing all the tricks, because hitting new story mode will reset every single trick that you just spent like 10 years binding, and you will not be very good. I guess, I don't know, I'm not a man with words. I am here to explain how to play a game. Alright. So, there are going to be a few basic tricks that you're going to have to use throughout the run. The most basic one is going to be the game special. So in your top left of your screen, you'll see your special meter. This is very important because the hot rod, being a special trick, you'll need full special meter to use the hot rod and go faster than just kind of rolling around or grinding. So the fastest way to gain special in any Tony Hawk game is to do a boneless, and then, here, let me bail real quick, get rid of my special again, is to do a boneless 180 judo, backside shifty, or 1 foot Japan. All three of those tricks work, but the judo gives you the most points. As you can see, that gave me 1700, whereas these give me, well, if I don't, accident, whatever, just take my word for it. Here, I can go off this. That was 1100, 800, and 800. As you can also tell, my stats are increasing, which is another important part of the run, which I will get to later. So, you'll want to practice this, because this is going to be a very essential part if you want to immediately go into a hot rod. So, I'll get rid of my special real quick. And as you can see, well, if I don't screw it up, 180 boneless judo, and then you can immediately hot rod afterwards, which gives you a lot of speed. Okay, what else? Oh yes, there's a very basic move which doesn't require much effort, but you may not know how to do it. It's called a power slide, which is exactly what this is. It's basically a revert where you instantly turn around. You activate it in Thug 2 by pressing down, down, and then whatever your revert button is on your controller. And this will instantly 180-degree turn you, and is pretty useful in some parts of the game. So just practice that a little bit. It's not essential, but it does help a lot. What other things? Oh yes. So there's a trick in this game where you can ollie after going off a surface, and it's called a late ollie. So like I'm not on anything, but I can still get a little bit of height with a late ollie. Now there's a glitch in the game, which all of the Tony Hawk speedrunners call a butt slap. So essentially it's a glitch where during the starting animation of a trick, like before the words show up for said trick, you can spam the ollie button and allows you to get extra height off of your jump. I am not great at explaining how to do it, so I'd recommend looking up a tutorial on how to butt slap, which for of you guys watching on YouTube, I will link in the description, as well as links to the mod. But if you are too lazy or do not want to go look up a tutorial, essentially, if you're holding the excuse background noise by the way, if you're holding your ollie button, you can go off a ramp and then immediately do any trick and then release A and start spamming it. So if you try to apologies. So when you're holding your ollie button, you can release it after going off, and that's how you activate ollie. However, before you release the A button, you do any trick that isn't a double tap trick. So, a Japan, any of the tricks that you just press the button work. But things like 360, shove-its, double impossibles, judos, stuff like that, those will not work for whatever reason. I do not know the specifics of it, but I do know that they do not work. And also, along with basic tricks, you can do special tricks and butt slap off of those, which are a little bit harder to do at first, but once you get it down, it can be very useful. So I'd recommend practicing that a lot, because I use it quite a bit during the run, and you're going to need to be fairly proficient at getting doubles. You can also get triple butt slaps and quad butt slaps, which require a lot of spamming. See, for instance, that was a triple. But doubles are all you'll really need throughout the run. Yes, there's a person named the Packle who is extremely good at butt slaps, can get consistent triples. I don't know how he does it. But yes, I'd recommend continually practicing that. Is there anything else I need to cover? Oh yes, make sure your focus mode button is something easily accessible, because you'll need it. Just making sure I'm not missing anything else before we continue. I do not think so. So that covers the basics of what you'll need throughout the run. Of course, you're going to need basic knowledge in terms of, you know, how to play the game, in terms of rolling, special tricks, how to balance, stuff like that. Alright. Now, we'll want to start the game. So, thankfully you don't have to talk to Tony, because he'll make you do this goal, which is stupid, and I don't know why, but you can, oh, I guess I can't quit this goal. Anyway. But what you can just do is go to change level and then head straight to Boston. So this is where you'd start. As soon as you select Boston, that's when you'd start your timer. So let's go there now, and I'll start explaining the 24 missions on every single level. I hope you're in for a ride, because a lot of stuff. Alright. So at the very beginning, Tony is going to start talking to you, and all of your missions are going to appear, and you just want to spam through those. Now here, at the start of every level, well, at the start of most levels, you'll get to select your pro teammate. The best one here is Bob Burnquist, because he has max speed stat, and 2, he's at the very top of the list, so you don't have to menu to him. In any other level, you'll want to menu up 1 to get to Mike V, because Bob Burnquist is knocked out of your team after Boston. This Mike V has a much higher speed stat than Rodney Mullen or Chad Muska, which are both very important. And his other stats are still decent, so it's not very negligible to pick anyone else. So we'll suck Bob Burnquist. Now, one thing I'm going to say right off the bat is this level, or actually every level, is very much based on timing and making sure that you know where elements of the level are at all times. For example, you can see the cars roaming around. You saw that this blader go by earlier. So all these elements on our level, you have to keep track of and remember the timings for. Which is why I am going to actually restart just so I can get back to the original timing. Because the very first goal, which you complete, is something called car hops. Well, actually, that's not the very first goal you do, actually. Sorry, my bad. First, you want to go to this arcade machine right next to you. Now, 75 points is very, very easy to get. You can do a 180 boneless judo, 180 boneless judo, or no compli judo, and then immediately go into a hot rod, and that will give you enough points. After getting those points, you'll want to hot rod down here and find Jesse James. And he'll give you a small little speech. And after completing your first goal, which is finding the special guest, Tony Hawk will text you. This is a little bit annoying, but thankfully it gives you right into your menu, where you can end your run on the arcade machine, and that will complete that. You'll definitely not want to save, because that's very annoying. And you'll want to immediately head up to Jesse James, who will give you the dialogue of all his things. Now, if you do it fast enough, this Jeep right here should be exactly like that. So, the red Jeep will show up like right in front of you. Maybe it'll be a little bit down the street, maybe it'll be a little bit behind. So either wait for it or chase it down, and you'll just want to jump over it 3 times. Now, I made it look super easy there, but trust me when I say this is going to be the hardest part of the run, because the hitboxes in Thug 2 are notoriously bad when it comes to story missions. So, after you complete the car hops, which may take you a long time, you may be halfway down that street by the time you hop over the red Jeep, because the Jeep is the closest vehicle to you, so therefore the fastest. That will open up the RV ramp, which will be important later. So after that, head down the street to the bank and the station where Polly is sitting here. Now, Polly is another one of those characters that kind of have bad hitboxes, because if you're going too fast, well, I mean, I actually somehow avoided him. If you're going too fast, you can actually just ramp off Polly, and that wastes a ton of time and is super annoying. But if you talk to him, you'll have to race him around the block and then back here. So, press your grab button, or keypad 6, or circle, or whatever you're using, and you'll just have to follow these lines. Now, right here, there are 2 things you can do. One, you can grind the vent in front of you, which you'll need to do either way, and use that to keep going after you finish, or you can skip that for now and come get it after you beat Polly in the race. Getting it now is slightly faster than getting it after the race, but it will be a lot safer to do it afterwards. So, for example, if I do it, well, if I don't screw it up, okay. Let's see, my speed was way too low there. So I'm gonna finish the race, Polly. Then I can come down here and get the grind blockers. Alternatively, during the race, I can grind the grind blockers, and then jump off at that corner right there towards the hospital and finish the race. Both work, but one's a tad bit faster. After doing both of those, you'll want to come over here and talk to Bob.
Alright, time for the Brazilian action.
Bob Burnquist, who will also give you his set of 6 gold, I don't remember already, I think it's 8. And then, the first thing you'll want to do is go straight in front of you, grind this fence to the left, and you'll want to start the spat tag mission. All these spat tags you have to graffiti tag by pressing your grind button. And on the PC port, you can walk away after tagging it, so you don't have to stay here and watch the full animation, so you can just kind of press Y and then run back and it'll count. Then immediately after this, we'll want to start our next mission, which involves these no skateboarding signs, which you have to sticker slap. So after doing this, you can turn around, get up back on your board, then wall right up here and sticker slap that sign. That may take a little bit because like it's kind of a tight corner to sticker slap, so and sometimes you go way too high like that. So if you want, you can just come back here, grind this, and then sticker slap for an easier time. Now the next thing you'll want to do is get that spat tag on top of the hospital. Now this is a very interesting part because you can do this many different ways. You can butt slap off of this to get to the top. You can just like grind this over here and then wall ride up. You can just go very basic and hot rod up there like this. All of them work and all of them are around the same speed, but from I've noticed, getting a very like fast and low angled butt slap off of that or hot rodding right here and then jumping off right here are the fastest ways to do it. Now after this, there's a goal right down here, which you can just jump down. Make sure not to hang on this edge of this building because it wastes a bit of time. And your combo run out timer should be gone by the time you get down here. Now, once you grab the kid, the guards will immediately chase you, so you can just press A, hold A, go forward, go over that dumpster, and just follow this very basic route back to where Tony is. All you really have to do is hold A during that mission, and it's pretty hard to screw up. You can also do backflips with the guy if you really, really want to, but I'd recommend playing it safe and just getting into Tony for both the fastest time and the easiest time. So after completing that mission, you'll want to come back to your character, and then you'll want to start a hot rod, and then go up here to where Benjamin Franklin is. I should state, though, so while your stats are increasing, you can do something where at the very start of the run, you can do your bonus 1A judo hot rod, get down here, and activating the cutscene will make it so that your stats won't increase for whatever reason until after you switch back to your character. So if you do manage to get that glitch, when you switch back to your character from Bob, your stats will increase and you'll have to get out of that menu. So just be warned about that. So you'll want the hot rod up here to Benjamin Franklin. And after going through this door and watching that cutscene, immediately get off your board so you don't go flying down the stairs, and then switch to Benjamin Franklin. After you get control of Ben Franklin, first thing you'll want to do is decapitate this first statue head, which you can just do by jumping onto it, double tapping A. This one will come back later for, so don't worry about it right now. So after immediately doing this, you can just drop off to the side here, and then grab the spat tag. The next thing we'll want to do is get that spat tag down there by the church, but there are two ways you can do this. One, you can grind here, and not jump off to the side like I did. That's a bad. Just grind these two things and then grab the spat tag, or alternatively, you can just hot rod. Both are about the same speed, unless you bail, in which case grinding is going to be faster since you don't have special. You can just hot rod down here. And be careful because your manual does go off, stop if you go off these ledges. So grab the spat tag, then immediately turn around and get this no skateboarding sign. And then this timing is very nice because if you are on a decently fast pace, the RV ramp will be right here. Now, to get the combo on the RV ramp, you only need 2,500 points, which can easily be achieved by a caveman and then a double tap flip trick, so like this. It's very easy. Alternatively, you can jump on and do some flatland, or if you're feeling really risky and really dumb, you can do this, but I'd recommend either the flatland way or the caveman, because both are much faster, much safer, and are easier to do. Now after that, the blader should be right around here, back here, or a little bit up the street depending on how fast you're going. You'll want to start your mission by kickflipping over him. Not a varial kickflip, a regular kickflip. And that will start 1 of 3, so you got it with Ben Franklin. And since the blader should be around here, you can easily get on the fire while you're here as well. So set yourself on fire, do the kickflip on the blader, and then you'll want to hot rod, which gives you a lot of points, and then do one trick in midair, and that'll give you 5,000 points. And then the boat will be around here or a little bit farther down the street where I grabbed it, and you'll just sketch it for 20 seconds. Fairly simple, fairly easy. There's not much to do here except don't fall off. But there's something very important right here. So at this corner in particular, if I PB during my tutorial, well, considering how slow I'm going, that wouldn't help, but so at this corner right here, there are, you can't see it because of the pause menu, but there are 4 benches around this corner. There's a very strange glitch in the game where if you let go of a car after sketching it, and then either hot rod or start grinding, the speed boost from the car and the speed boost from the grind will stack for some reason, and you'll go flying like off of the benches. So if I can pull it off here, I will show you. Okay, I was a little far forward, but oh yes, and Tony Hawk will message you every time you get 400 points in the story mode, which I will make note when that happens. So after sketching the vehicle, Tony Hawk will text you, so look out for that, and make sure you don't reply "let's go now," because that will completely screw over your run. Now, let me wait for a car real quick, and I will demonstrate what I was talking about with said green benches. Can I sketch this? I don't think I've ever tried. No, you can't. Okay, rip. So give me a second while I wait for this. So you want to wait for the 20 seconds, but around there is wow. Okay, I'm gonna pretend I didn't screw that up. So around here is optimal, where you can get off, just continue holding A, and you'll grind across these benches, and you'll get a very large speed boost. Small frame drops. I don't think I'm having small frame drops. It doesn't look like it. And with said speed boost from the vehicle, you'll probably go flying to around here-ish, which is very nice because you can immediately grind here. Well, actually, you'll probably be grinding at the top of this stair, and then you can jump up here and then get that sign right off the bat. If you don't trust yourself in terms of like jumping over that fence, which has a very strange hitbox, you can just, after getting the benches, just drop off and then go around here on this top stair. Okay, so you've been maybe noticing that frame lag. It's changing time of day, and that's what Windows 10 with an NVIDIA card will do to you, which is very fun, very nice, and not very good for speedrunning. So I'd recommend even more not doing that. It generally won't turn nighttime while you're speedrunning because you'll be out of here before it starts to turn. Now, after grinding this fence and getting said sticker slap, you can immediately get off your board midair and drop before you go over this fence, so you can immediately get back on your board. Just hold A, air out of this, and just get off your board. You don't have to jump, don't have to ollie, none of that. Just hold A, get off your board, and you'll knock off the head of the statue. Very simple, and it also does not start a combo, so you can immediately switch back to your character, which is very, very fast, considering if, say, I were to do a trick off of that, get the statue head, I'd have to wait for my combo round meter or get back on my board. So I'd switch back to your character, and the next 2 things we're going to do are the library, Skate the Liberty Trail, and the Spine Transfer Tour. So by now I've increased my speed stat by a lot because I've been demonstrating stuff, but right now your speed stat should still be relatively low. So what you'll want to do, or just your stats in general, not just your speed stat. So after pop shoving down that, you do a spine transfer to increase your speed stat, but while doing that, do some kind of special trick to get more points and more air points, so that will increase it more. So after immediately here, I'll retry so it stops beeping at me. So pop shove it, Land transfer over this with a decent amount of points. Then immediately after here, start hot rodding. You'll go down this alley, drop up here, acid drop on the volcano, and then, which is the most efficient way to do it because it increases your stat as well as pretty decently fast. Now there's two things I want to show here. First, you can go over this like this, which is the intended way, but if you're fast enough, have enough special, and have hot rod, there's a very weird trickery you can do where you can go off the bottom of the ramp across the mural like that and land on the other side. It requires a lot of speed and it's pretty hard to do, but if you can pull it off, it saves about a second to a second and a half. Yes, like that. It's the much faster way to do that. So far, this, fine transfer, hot rod, acid drop, and then either transfer or hot rod across the mural. What about without cheater manual? Well, you need cheater manual or hot rod in order to do well in this category. If, I mean, if you have Windows 10, it's pretty much my handicap, but it is the fastest way possible, and this is a speedrun, so I'm demonstrating the fastest way. Now after that, you'll want to make sure you land after going off the mural, because if you continue your combo and revert into a hot rod, the next thing in the Skate the Liberty Trail won't activate until after you land the mural. So make sure you land, and then you can go into a hot rod, air off this ramp, and butt slap up to the crow's nest. This may be a very hard trick at first because it requires a decent amount of butt slapping skill and timing. But once you get used to it, you'll realize that it's pretty easy to do, and once you get consistent at it, it will be much faster than spine transferring on and then airing up to here. Wow, okay, thanks Josh. So, after you butt slap up, you should be able to grab on about here on the crow's nest. For this mission, you are supposed to acid drop off down into the boat to complete the Skate the Liberty Trail. It's supposed to have you go up here and then acid drop, but grabbing onto here is also just as suitable and works as well. So you can just drop here and acid drop. It's very important to note that you cannot do a trick while doing the acid drop or it will not count, because it detects the acid drop as a trick, not in your combo, which is extremely stupid, but just keep that in mind so it doesn't completely screw you over. Now after landing, you'll build up a decent amount of speed from the acid drop. And we still need to get the combo on the high seas, so you can just not do that. That is not what I intended for you to do. Hello, Logan?
Hey, are you streaming right now?
Yeah.
Alright, then I'll just mute myself.
So don't retry goal. That is not what I intended to do. I'll just go across that again. So after you acid drop, you can just hold A and then do a semi-flip on the other side of that if you are in switch, because that will give you 3,000 points, which is what you need in order to complete the mission. So, acid drop,
Do the last one, complete the mission.
semi-flip, exactly,
So,
semi-flip, and then you're done on the ship and you can just jump off. So, do that, well, semi-flip, and then jump off right here. Now this is the next part of the level. I don't know what I'm saying, but after you jump off, you'll want to immediately go into a hot rod. I said a hot rod, and then butt slap off here, wall right up, and then grab either this plank of wood or the yellow pipe. Now that might have gone by quite fast for some of you, but it's pretty easy because for whatever reason, when you wall ride this wall, it gives you a ton of speed. Oh, and there's Windows 10 lag again, my favorite. So, just practice that a few times. Sometimes airing off that is kind of hard, and you'll just go straight up with your butt slap, which is a little annoying, but you can recover. So, backup strat for this is if you accidentally just butt slap up like that instead of actually going onto the wall, you can go off here and butt slap off this little surface to gain a little bit of height, and then grab the yellow pipe and climb up. After you get up here, you'll just want to double jump up here, so jump, wall jump, and then tag this billboard. Now, for whatever reason, Windows 10 also likes to freeze after cutscenes. So as you can see, that took around like 6 to 7 seconds to transfer from the cutscene back into normal gameplay, which is another bad thing about Windows 10, so keep that in mind as well. After getting the billboard, you'll just want to jump immediately to the left. Nothing fancy here. Drop down, and then get this spat tag. Now, the next thing we'll want to do is, all in a line, get the cannons, butt slap over the horse, and decapitate the statue head, as well as kickflip over the blader. Now, the blader should be somewhere up here or around the corner after you finish getting the billboard. So you'll have a little bit of time until he comes down, so you can grind the cannon, do a butt slap, acid drop, Benihana. This butt slap to decapitate the statues is fairly difficult because it's such a precise angle you have to get, and if you miss it at all, you'll probably miss the statue head. So after that, so if you do miss the statue head, you can just turn around, get back up, jump off, and knock it off the old-fashioned way. But it is fastest to decapitate it while getting the Benihana. Basically for Windows 10, essentially. So after you acid drop, you want to acid drop because you'll be closer to the statue, which is good because the blader will be around like here, and you'll want to kickflip him. Of course he's over there because I'm taking it slow and trying to explain everything the best I can. But in general, he'll be over here, and it's fast to acid drop. Although, if either you're on a very slow pace or an extremely fast pace, what you can do is instead of acid dropping, knock off the thing, Benihana, and then land here, and then get the blader when he's up here. So, it is faster to do this to get to the next goal, but it depends all on where the blader is, which is why I was talking about it's important to keep track of the cycles. Yeah, you don't need a butt slap to knock it off, but you have to go like extremely slow and at a weird angle, and yeah, like that. I didn't butt slap there, I just late ollied, so that also works, but the butt slap is far more consistent than anything else you can do. So, get the kickflip on the blader, and then the next thing you want to do is come up here to this boombox. Now, Trick to Beat is a very annoying mission because it's essentially like calling out tricks from the first game, except you have to do it in timing. So, the most effective way to do this is to do the tricks while doing other missions. And what you can do is, so, for example, after doing a trick, immediately jump and like try to guess which trick is going to be next. Even if it's not correct, if you do guess like the 1 out of 4 chance, it saves a bit of time because you get it before you can even read it. See, like that. I guessed the impossible and got it. Okay. So that's the basic method for getting this, but I should mention, you're not just going to be sitting around doing kickflips and impossibles. You're going to want to do the other missions while doing this, considering it's very simple. The first thing you want to do is get the all about the measurements, which you just go up this ramp and transfer up here. Very simple. So all along the way of doing this, get the trick to the beat if you can. Get up here, slap that sticker. The easiest way to get up there is to wall ride up, like I did. Like this. Alternatively, you can wall ride up a lot and then grind. But both work and are very simple to do. The next thing you want to do is start the finest rails in Boston, which is started with this curvy thing. So grind up this, do a trick if you can. For example, if you can in terms of don't bail. Do your tricks while you're heading in. Okay. So I completed the tricks, and then grind this rail, and then for right here, instead of just grinding up it, like you would think you would do, you can go up these stairs, turn around immediately, and then grind down, which saves a bit of time. Now, we're almost done with Boston, So finish up Trick to the Beat right now if you haven't. Switch to Bob Burnquist,
Take it over.
and then find the Blader. Where he is can depend on how fast you did everything in the level, so he could be anywhere around this block. Like, I mean anywhere. So, I'd recommend going counterclockwise to him, or clockwise, and counter the route to him. So if you have no idea where he is, I'd recommend going down here first, and then going, like, face first into him to find him. After that, kickflip. I said kickflip. I said kickflip. And then you're done with Boston, and you can change level. Now, I need a drink, because I've been talking way too much. So, I've been recording for an hour, almost. And we just got to the next stage. Well, that's weird. Timer on OBS is like skipping. It's like instead of 52:21, it's like 52:20, 52:22. Alright. So, after completing your last goal, Tony will text you saying that you've got all the goals, and you can go into your text messages and just reply, "Let's go now." But that's a little bit slower because you have to wait for this to pop up, wait for it to blink, and then you can click it. It's much faster, just menu down, and then immediately select Barcelona, because there's no delay on this menu. And it's a little bit faster than accepting text messages. So go to Barcelona, get the cutscenes,
I suggest starting off with
and you'll start up again.
But here are some other things you can
Now, make sure you don't spam too hard through your missions, so you'll want to select Mike Vallely, because he has a higher speed stat. However, if you do accidentally select Rodney Mullen, it's not the end of the world, because you can switch pros after you've selected one, but the menuing to select Mike Vallely after you select Rodney Mullen is way more of a time loss than it is to just select Rodney Mullen. So don't freak out too much if you spam too much, but just know it's faster to select Mike V. And Chad is... There's no point to pick Chad. Like, it's very hard to do it on accident. So select Mike V. At the start of Barcelona, you want to immediately get off your board, turn around, go over here, and switch to Mike V.
Let's get going.
Okay, now, Barcelona, thankfully, does not start its, like, cycle in terms of what you have to keep track of until after you activate it, so I can take a little bit of time to explain stuff here. But, however, there are a few things which do not require any specific spot or character or anything that you just gotta keep track of and make sure you don't forget, because if you miss one, it's very hard to keep track of and remember. So, if we head over to the bullfighter, or not the bullfighter, just the bull guy, I don't know why he's dressed up as a bull, we can grab tomatoes.
Hola, here's some tomatoes.
Now, Slug 2 introduces throwable objects, which are pretty cool at first because you can just smack people upside the head with tomatoes, but they are extremely hard to aim because, like, if your camera's facing away from them, even though you're facing the character, like see, look, even though I'm completely facing the bull, just because my camera's at a weird angle, it misses him, it does not auto-target him. So, make sure you're looking at your target before you throw. Okay, throwing it at the bull in the sky is not what you want to do. So, pretend right now we still have 0 out of 5 heads tomato. So after grabbing the tomato, immediately not a spin or grind this trash can. I like not a spinning it so I can jump off where I want to, and head off in this direction towards Tony and these benches. Now, that guy over there would normally be around here if you don't take 10 minutes to explain everything. So after getting off this, jump off, tomato the guy, and then start grinding these benches. Luckily, these don't require any skill. You just hold your grind button and do it. Now, right there, while you're grinding these benches for the mission and just holding Y, you can reach over on your controller and press B to tomato that guy with like a drive-by. which I feel bad for him, but it's the most efficient way to do it, and it also looks pretty cool. So after grinding these benches, you want to immediately go into a hot rod, and then air out of this ramp. You don't have to actually butt slap out of it. You just air out, late ollie, and then you should land about where I am, depending on how you do it. Immediately tag this, drop down, and there should be a guy right here to tomato. He's right over here right now, but normally he'd be right here. And then grind this trash can, and then while that guy would normally be right here, there's normally a lady right around where the guy is now. I don't know where she goes, actually. Yeah, right there. That lady. She'll be right here, and then after grinding the trash can, you can tomato her, and that will give you 4 out of 5 peds, assuming you hit all of them. Now, after that, you'll have a little bit of lull time before you head to your next mission, which is the perfect time to start doing special combos. So, oh, I forgot to bind Judo to Mike V. That's cool. And so, for these focus combos, you have to, before you start your combo, go into focus mode and get 1,000 points, and then land it. And that will give you 1 out of 3. So, while you're going over here, tomato this lady, start your focus combos with 1,000 points, tomato that guy while you're going over here. I suggest getting another focus combo. Get the spat tag. Then if you can fit one in, get another focus combo right here. Although it's not really needed, but because you can always do it whenever. But that's the most efficient way, so it's out of the way. You don't have to worry about it. And then if you tomato this mime, that should be your 5 peds. But if you miss a focus combo or miss a ped, make sure you remember, because it's not really too obvious if you forget it. So after that, getting those 2 spat tags, tomatoing 5 peds, focus combos, just throw tomato at the bowl, and it'll free the bullfighter. So you'll want to skip the cutscene, obviously. And here's where Windows 10 shows its true colors again. Need to talk to you. I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you. He does that like 12 times. Alright. So, immediately switch to Bullfighter. And then turn around. Build special if you can. And then go through this door. And in here you will find my favorite character. I didn't actually mean that. Mr. Steve-O himself. So after going through this door, immediately switch to Steve-O. Now that bull just went by me and knocked me over in the cutscene, which is cool. Cool. Alright. So that's one way to do it. But after grabbing Steve-O and you don't like pause to explain stuff, you can immediately head around this corner and the bull will always be right there where like that bull dung is. And after doing that, you can either, while holding A, ram into him for the bull versus bull, or you'll just get a bull air where you can start one of the bull air combos. So if you get the bull air, I'd recommend grinding this, doing some flips, and then going back right here. Because the bull follows a set path and he will always go around that corner through this passageway after going that way. And then after landing your bull air combo, just run into him and you should get bull versus bull. The other way you can do it is if you get bull versus bull first, you can run into him, it'll activate the small little pause, and then immediately start wheeling while you still have bull versus bull in your combo, and then get a bit of points, and just wait for the bull to come around this corner, and that will finish off your bull air. I should mention something though. You'll usually want to start your combo before coming in contact with the bull, because I'm going to show you what happens if you don't. Let me find the bull. I have no idea where he is right now. He always follows a set path, but finding him in the first place is the problem. Okay, there he is. So, like, if I air off and then try to wheelie... Hold on, let me try and explain it a little bit better. Show it a little bit better. So if I... Okay, or I can just miss the bull entirely. That's also an option. Where is he? He should be coming around this corner next. It's like if you do a bull air and then try to wheelie, okay, it worked that time, but sometimes it just doesn't detect the bull air anymore and just puts you straight into a wheelie without the bull air in your combo. So to be on the safe side, just go into a manual before coming in contact with the bull. Now after getting both bull versus bull and the bull air, which I have not gotten bull versus bull yet, but that's because I was not on time, so let me go get that real quick. And by get that, I mean completely miss him. There we go. You'll want to, you can go, the next thing you want to do is the Yeehaw boost. The first thing you can try to spine up this, but Steve-O likes to just spine through the building, because he's Steve-O. I'd recommend only trying that spine if you have a good head start and you have full special. Otherwise, you'll want to just spine up here, spine back down to gain some speed, and then you should be able to spine up to the building just fine. Now right here, just ollie off the fan and do a Yeehaw boost into the park. However, I paused and lost all my speed to like try and explain something, so that's not how you want to do it. Let me demonstrate proper technique. Air up over here. Or, you know, sometimes Steve-O likes to do that because he's Steve-O. And then immediately bail after. I didn't press any buttons, by the way. Steve-O just did that on his own. So anyway, ollie off the fan, do a Yeehaw, and then Astro Drop right here. Now the next things we want to do is just spine the planters, which you can do by reverting and doing it in a combo. Now right there, it's pretty fast to just hold A. So after I head down off the Yeehaw boost, I'll have a decent amount of speed, so I can just hold A and start spining instead of jumping up and spining, because that's a little bit slower because I go higher into the air. So keep your combo, get a decent amount of points, and you should be fine. After those two spines, you can head over here, jump over this ramp, and then Astro Drop down. I mean, except do it correctly. So, because airing off that quarter pipe is a little bit slower than just jumping over it. Like that. Then I'd recommend actually ollieing off of that, so you get enough speed to spine over the Gwell planter, and then transfer over the Gwell entrance. Sometimes you won't have a good angle or enough speed and you'll bail right here, which in which case with my backup strat, I like to jump up here and then build speed here and then just transfer across the other way. Because it's a pretty safe backup strat, and it is doesn't waste too much time. So after doing both of those, you want to switch over to Mike V. And if you do Steve-O like pretty much perfectly and don't screw him up, the bull should be down this alleyway. Also shouts to Windows 10 lag. So he should be right here, in which case you can get the Mike V bull air. But of course he's not right there because I took forever on Steve-O, and he could be anywhere right now. But after you switch, oh, there it is. So after you switch to Mike V, you'll want to grind this trash can. If the bull's right here, air off the bull, and sometimes he'll drop this dung. Now, for this dung, you just have to air off and do a grab trick off of it. You can do it normally, but a safer way to do it is just caveman off of it with the grab, and it will also count. There's Tony Hawk texting me again, which is fun. So after getting both of those, or all three of those, depending, you can jump up here, get the spat tag, and then immediately do a flip trick off of this ledge. Normally you're supposed to grind it and then do a flip trick, but what you can also do is just air off of it and then flip trick. So you don't have to grind, and it saves a bit of time to just air off of it. So after that, you'll want to switch back to your character, and then head over here to this flaming car. You can grind this, and we want to help peg leg and fix the bridge, so we can just grind this rope. Now, you don't want to jump off immediately to death warp back, because if I jumped off right now, I'd go on the wrong side of the bridge, and I'd waste a lot of time, and it'd mess up some timings with trams and whatnot. So I want to stay on till I get around like the U-turn point, and then jump off into the water. Okay, well, jump off a little earlier than that, because if I jump off earlier than that, I'll spawn right here, in which case I can turn around, set my board on fire. And then what we can do is we want to ollie into this door so we get enough air to set the birds on fire. Now hold our direction while doing this, and then grab after the bird cutscene. Because if you start your grab before that, sometimes it doesn't detect, and then it's just screws you over and it's no fun at all. Now after this, there's the billboard, which is on top of the building where we spined up to Stevo. So we're already on top of this building, so we have a decent amount of speed, so we can spine, and then butt slap off this ramp up to the billboard. I missed it there because I'm bad, but if you can get it correct, it's pretty fast than just, it's a little bit faster than just spining up. However, if you miss the butt slap air out, you can just butt slap up to this wire and then grind it to it. That works. You can do other things as well, but the most efficient way is to butt slap up to it after airing out. Wait for Windows 10 to do its thing. Alright. After doing the tagging the billboard, at this point, yes, that tram right there is actually the wrong tram because I took for a while, but there's one in front of it. That one would normally be right about where it is. See, it's not come to the quarter pipes yet on top of the building, so we have a little bit of time to immediately jump down, grab the spat tag, then spine back up. It's important you do this fairly quickly before the tram escapes. See, like I almost missed it there. And then you grab on this tram, and astral drop into one of these pools. Alternatively, if you're a little late, you can astral drop here. And if you miss both of those, that's pretty much a reset, because there's not very many quick backup shots for that, except to wait for another tram. So that all happened very quickly, but you need to do it quickly, or else you're gonna miss the cycle, and that's no fun.
Isn't that a point of a speedrun to do it quickly, though?
I know, but you gotta make sure you don't screw this up. Obviously, you're doing it quickly. And then, after that, spine back up here, and you just grind down this circle rail. That one's very hard to mess up, so pretty much a freebie there. After that, you want to head back over here to these benches. Now, the next flip you want to do for the Flip Barcelona's Finest is to flip off one of these benches. Again, they expect you to grind it and then flip off, but you can also just come from over here, land on it. Well, I land on it, and then flip off, and that also works. So right over, after that, just come straight over to your arcade machine the fastest way you can. Start the mission, and then do the rail-rated combo, which is grinding these, sticker slap, grind, and then that's pretty much it. It's a robot line, you don't really have to do anything, but sometimes the sticker slap doesn't work, and it's dumb. Now, another fun thing about the Thug 2 PC port is, oh, okay, well it didn't do that there, but normally in Barcelona and I think Skatopia, after you tag the last stat tag, your character will just freeze. Like, he'll stay in place and you normally can't move him. However, somehow it, like, glitched out of the glitch so I can move again freely, but if you do freeze, ending current run will always unfreeze you, and you should have enough points after doing the combo when you get up here. So, finish the combo, get the spat tag, end your current run, and then the next thing we want to do is to go over the bridge without touching the ground. Now, a very interesting thing about it is its detection is very strange, so you don't have to, like, go completely over it, like, on the top rails. You can just grind this rail right here, and then just jump off right here. Oh, or not. I think you have to manual that. Hold up. Let me test something real quick, right here on the spot, while Windows 10 completely kills my frame rate. Okay, apparently that works too. So apparently you don't have to grind at all, just hot rod across the entire bridge, and apparently that counts. Alright, good to know. So, well, I guess I was gonna say grind all of these to get across, but apparently you can just hot rod across the entire thing. Okay, cool. That shouldn't be a thing, but, well, there you go, new strats right now. So, after you hot rod across the entire bridge, I can't believe that works. Before you get to the next flip, you'll want to end your hot rod, because if you hot rod across this, you'll go flying across, and then you have to like back up a lot. However, if you like land it beforehand, you don't go as far, and it's easier to turn around. After that, grind this bench, hold Y. Well, I mean, assuming you have more speed than me. Grind this bench, hold Y, and you'll get the last trash can. Now, these subway teleports have two teleports. The colors on the wall actually dictate where they go to. So the red one will always go to the Guel Park, and then the green one will always go here. And then if you're in one of these ones, the blue one will always go across the bridge. So, right here though, we want to go to the red one, and we'll want to get the combo with our character, and then get the bull combo with the bullfighter. So ideally, you want to sneak in the bull air combo whenever you can with your character, because depending on how fast or how slow you do stuff, you could be anywhere. So if you see him and he's not too far out of the way, it'd probably be best to chase him down real quick and get the bull air combo. The easiest way is to hot rod and then just have him run into you, and boom, that's over 5,000 points and you're good. So do that with both the remaining characters. And you're almost done, depending on what you're missing. Well, actually, I am done. But if you've missed any of the peds for the tomato, or you miss any of the focus combos, you can clean those up now, since they can be done anywhere. And then that's Barcelona finished, thankfully. Because I hate the Bulls so much. Look at Steve-O's photo in there. Even he looks stupid in that. Alrighty. Alright, 2 out of 6. We're going. So, new cutscene we'll play. We skip it, so we don't care. Now, in the story, we got switched over to Bam's team because the Wheeloogies did a rookie swap. So, for the first time, we don't have to worry about menuing down to Mike V, or like menuing at all for our pro skater. So you'll immediately gain control, turn around to the left, bonus 1A judo to get special, which is extremely important in this case. And if you mess up, just do a few tricks, like I did. Because the first thing we'll do is immediately ramp up here, and then do Bam Majera's grinded bar. Preferably in like one clean combo. Okay, so that might have gone by a little fast as well. What to go up here, do a grinding barf, not a boneless, but grinding barf. Jump up to this yellow thing, and then make sure you hold right after you jump up, so you don't do a lip trick on top of that, instead you grind it. Luckily Berlin is like the one map we don't have to worry about cycles, so I can kind of slow down a bit here. So we go up here, do that, and then what you can do is click your spine buttons, so both your triggers, and then you'll just fall off the rail, which is a tad bit faster than jumping off. And then while you're still in your combo, preferably, so I just ran out my combo, preferably while you're still in your combo, run over here, sticker slap that, and then after sticky slapping that, you can go into focus mode and then land your combo clean for the clean combos, because these ones you can just activate focus before you land instead of doing it the entire time, which is nice. So try to get your first clean combo right there if you can. Immediately afterwards, head over here, hot rod down, and then do another grinded barf right here, and then focus clean. I activate focus mode a little early there just to make sure I get it, but if you're better at it than I am, which you probably are, you can activate it like right before you land. But don't do it like right before you land, because here, let me try to explain it. Like, if you activate it too late, it just won't count it, even if you do land clean, which is just weird. And then you just not spin these one of these poles 3 times. Pretty simple. But after doing that, while you still have your combo run out going, try to jump down here and then land another clean combo. So that should clean up the clean combos, but just try to sneak them in whenever you can if you do fail them, like I do a lot. So after that, we want to go through this door, hot rod, go off this booster fan, grind this upper ledge, and then jump into the graffiti tagger. Alternatively, you can grind the wire that's up there to get to the graffiti tagger, but I prefer doing that way because it looks cooler and is a little bit faster. So after finding the graffiti tagger, you can immediately swap to him, turn around you, and there's a spat tag right here, just waiting to be tagged. So, that was easy. Head over here, then you can either lip this inline rulers sign, or you can just grind across it like that, which is much faster, and it also sets you on course to your next destination. So we want to jump off here, get the spat tag, and then grab some paint cans. Make sure you remember to grab the paint cans, because it's extremely important. Now, there's a graffiti tagger up here that we have to tag, but we can throw cans while grinding, but you just gotta make sure you do it extremely quick, because the reaction time window for it is pretty tight. So, we want to not do a disaster. Up here, grind the correct direction, then hit B as we round this corner, and that should hit him. But if it misses, you can just jump off and hit him the old-fashioned way. While still grinding, you can jump up here, jump to this, and then jump over to this ledge, which is the fastest way to get to this guy, where you can then tag him. After that, start hot rodding, and then while you're hot rodding, hit that guy while going into the church. So this wall is breakable by sticker slapping it twice, which is fairly simple, but we also need to get the almighty combo while we're in here. The easiest way to do that is to get both the sticker slaps and then go immediately to a hot rod, which gives you a lot of points, then jump up on this ladder, and that should give you plenty of points for the almighty combo. Then after getting up here, we just have to spray tag this entire wall to redo the Merle, which honestly isn't that hard. And there are two things we can do after doing that. One, we can drop down there and then go out through the bottom, which is the normal way, and the simplest and easiest way. However, the faster way is a little bit harder. So, you want to come over here, go out to this ledge, make sure you don't fall down, then butt slap over to the spat tag, preferably onto the roof. Get the spat tag, jump up. I said jump up, grind, wall ride up, jump up here, and get poly. However, the simpler way, and the one I'd recommend doing, is go up here, you'll find poly, and then after you find poly, no matter which way you do, you'll want to immediately switch to him,
Bring on the Fraulein.
and then switch back to the graffiti tagger. Because we want Poly's goals, we just don't want to place him yet. So, if you did it the first way I showed, where you got the spat tag first, you can immediately just start heading this way. But if you got Poly first, you want to head back through this door, go off to the left here, drop down, get the spat tag, then start heading over here. Now, depending on which way you go, there are two ways you can go about this. One of them is to go up here, grind, and then not wall ride an invisible wall. Go up here, just hold grind, and then you'll get the inliner's rule, and then you'll head right over to this ladder, where you can head up, and then slap this guy with the paint can. Alternatively, and the slightly faster way, is to actually lip this, immediately jump off, do a hot rod, butt slap up, and then hit the guy while in midair. Somehow he locks onto him pretty easily with that. I don't know how or why, but that is the faster way, and it also looks a lot cooler as well. But you have to hot rod and butt slap, so it may not be easy. Next thing we want to do is, after doing that, either way, no matter which way you do it, drop down here, butt slap off this, and then hit that guy. Well, if I do it correctly. Butt slap off, and then tag that guy. Alternatively, if you were up there, you can grind across that ledge to get down over here, but that is the faster ways to go off that ramp. Tony should text you right around here, as you saw, so look out for that. And then we want to head back to BAM.
Go shred it up then.
So, after switching back to BAM, just go straight in front of you. Now this is kind of a hard part, because this Pro Tour line with the little ledges, it has awful hitboxes, and olling on it is really strange. So we want to head up here, ollie off this, ollie up to the next level, and it's a lot harder than it looks, honestly. You have to ollie such a weird time. So after getting up there, instead of ollieing like straight down in front of you, like you normally would to complete the Pro Tour line, you would jump to this roof, hot rod, and then air over this gap to get disrupt communications. So let me see if I can do it correctly. This is a fairly hard trick, so don't feel too bad if you can't get it. But do this, and you can air over, and you get disrupt communication. That's the fastest way to do it, but it's not exactly the easiest. So do it if you can, but don't worry if you can't. Then you just want to finish up the Pro Tour line. Head down over here, grab the spat tag, then ask to drop on the other side of this wall. Alternatively, what you can do, if you missed the Pro Tour line or the disrupt communications the first time, or you don't want to do it the way I showed, what you can do is head down here, go through the door, and then do it the game intends you to. So you go off this boost, acid drop, and then you have enough air to do it. And then you can head down here and switch to your character. But if you got it the first time the way I showed, you can just drop down here and immediately switch to your character. Okay. The next part involves this arcade machine, which conveniently, whenever you retry goal, you head back to the starting position. So, grab it, sticker slap the smoke machine while you're here, head out, and then you want to vent boost off of that to this billboard, and then tag it. Wait for Windows 10 to lag, and then you can immediately pause and then retry last goal, and you'll go back to the arcade machine. So after this, you want to build up special, build up some points, and then grind this pipe on the way to the spat tag. Tag the spat tag and your current run, and then head over to the guards. The best way to do that is to actually stay on your board and then ollie over them, because the hitbox for it while you're off your board is actually kind of weird. But if you miss it the first time, it is easier to stay off your board. Hot rod over here, get this guy's hat, and then you're done with that. After you've set all their guys' hat on fire, head over here, stick slap this fish machine twice, and that's all you have to do with that. Now, we want to head over to Polly next, but on our way back to Polly, do your stunt for the team challenge, yes. So you have to do a 5,000 air point combo while skating in the church. So the easiest way to do that is just to spine over and do like a few air tricks with rolls and whatnot. It doesn't have to be an Indy 900 like I did. After that, air out, come over here, grab Polly. So if you've ever played any of the any percent categories, this should seem familiar to you. You want to start by grinding that, and then just follow this line how you normally would. Nothing special here. But instead of grinding this down to the door, like you normally would, you want to jump off here. Well, the pause button, like, let go of my A plus weird. You want to go off here, jump off immediately, grind that, and if you miss that, just air out here, and then grind the make sure you grind the left side of the circle. Because if you grind the right side, you'll be going the opposite direction, and you'll just have a hard time getting... Oh, okay, nice lag. And you'll have a hard time doing the next part. But after you grind that, try to jump off at an angle where you can immediately grind this, which is why you want to jump on the left side. And then just follow this tour as well. Nothing fancy here, just do what it tells you to, and you should be good. And after this, if you jump at the right moment, you can clear everything with just a jump, and do a sit flip off that little black mark, and you should get the skills on wheels. Make sure you jump early, well, not like too early, but make sure you don't jump late or it will not count, which is really dumb. Come over here to the smoke machine and jump a little late, because Polly has like a really high jump for how fast he goes. So jump a little late and then sticker slap it, and you should get it fine, because if you jump too early, you go over it, and then it's a whole mess, and it's not fun. After that smoke machine, head on over to Bam Margarine, and head over to the set of cones you may have saw earlier. Now right here, what you can do is get off your board, turn around, and then start hot rodding. But if you can manage it, the fastest way to do this is to power slide. Well, power slide correctly, and then manual through the cones, which is why I suggested practicing it. And then once you finish through the cones, you can just pause, change level, and we're off to Australia.
Oh man, Thailand was they passed out on a boat and wound up in India. You just need to get cranking on these tricks.
So select Mike V, and then... Hold on, I need a drink. Alright, so first thing you want to do, immediately turn around. Well, not into the brick wall, but go off this ramp, and then there should just be a door right there. Go through it, and there's a shrimp, turn around, and then you found him. So the first thing you want to do is immediately switch to him. Now, here's one thing which I'm going to explain real quick. The fastest way to do this, like the statistically fastest way, is to get the arcade machine with the shrimp vendor, get the points, and then go down the Mike V. However, just because I'm like dumb and like the comfort of my character more, I switch back, do the arcade machine, get the enough points, and run before you get to Mike V. Switch to Mike V.
Let's get going.
And then I switch back to my character. But the fastest way is to come down here with the shrimp vendor, then just switch to Mike V and stay as Mike V. But I prefer my character just because I can increase his air stat more and whatnot, and I don't know, it just feels more comfortable. Next thing you want to do is not spin that trash can, and then ramp up here. The easiest way to hot rod, but you can also butt slap up here as well. Now around this corner are a couple tables, so the best thing to do is just memorize where they are so you can do the zigzag pattern without missing any. But if you do miss some, just come back and get them like I did. Now this next part may be a little hard, and I still screw it up quite a bit. You want to jump off immediately to the right, then ask to drop down here, turn to the left, go into focus mode, then do a clean double kickflip over the cars. Now that is extremely hard to do if you are like don't have the best reaction time or you're bad at doing clean double kickflips like I am. Because it requires quite a bit of reaction time and a decent understanding of like where your character is before you do it. Also, I don't know what that was, but sure. So after you do that, come immediately up here, which you can do by grind, wall ride, grind. And then you can hot rod over here, jump, and get up here. However, if you miss your hot rod or whatever, you can just boneless up and not spin his fingers. So, or you, alternatively, you can jump up the statue, but that's quite slow. After this, jump over here towards the fire hydrant, and start not spinning this just for 5 seconds. Okay, now this is where a slight route change might take place if you are playing normal or sick compared to easy. It is faster to go in here and then find the Aussie cart guy right now, and then come out and continue, but because of the way Tony texts you after you get 400 points, he'll immediately text you after you do that. Or, sorry, not after you do that. After doing the rotisseries, which can screw up a trick that is pretty much essential if you want to save a lot of time in Australia. So I just opt to skip him for now, and then continue on my path. So you want to build up special because the cutscene killed all your special meter. I'll route over this and go up here. Now, you want to just do rotisseries over this rolling gap, but I am extremely bad at rotisseries for whatever reason. So you don't have to do them over the gap as long as you do one during, like, as long as you do them before the gap, and get the gap last, and you have 2 rotisseries in your combo, it will count. So what you can do is do a rotisserie here, revert, and then try to do another rotisserie. See, like, I failed there, but it still gave it to me because I had 2 rotisseries in my combo. Now, sorry. What you want to do after the rotisseries is you want to acid drop here, not bail. I don't know what that was about, game. Sorry, let me retry that. I don't know what happened there. As I was saying, do the rotisseries, acid drop, spine transfer, and then butt slap up to the billboard off of this. It's important you acid drop onto the ramp, or you'll have barely, like, just enough speed to get up here if you butt slap properly, and if you miss it, you're just boned. So, it's best to acid drop to ensure you're safe, and then bark this billboard. Now, here's an interesting thing. I've reached the 400 point threshold right now, but there's a small little delay before Tony will actually text me. So, what I like to do is immediately start going, butt slap off of this. Well, okay, so I failed there, but normally what you would do when you're not bad at the game like I am. Why are you grabbing that ledge? What you would normally do is after going off of this, double butt slap, wall ride, grind that, and then drop down. And after you land, Tony would text you like right about there, but it doesn't matter because all you have to do is just ramp up here with that speed. So he won't be messing up too much. After going up here, after acid dropping, you want to come over here, grind this awning, and then head over here, power slide, and then do the clean double heel flip down that. But you want to do a double heel flip and not an inward heel flip. There we go. So, clean double 360 heel flip. Or 360 double heel flip. Come over here, pick up shrimps, and next thing we want to do is biggins. What you can do is come up here and then start hot rodding. But the fastest way, although a little bit riskier way, wall right up this and then grind that to get back up here. Either way, you want to hot rod down this, because that gives you the highest chance of doing it. And after doing that, I'd come over here, hot rod, smack that guy with the shrimp, and grind this all in the same combo. I would like to say, right now, that do not wall ride this wall right here. This is a death wall, and will murder your combo if you decide to wall ride it. Well, normally it does. Hold on, let me see if I can get it to how it normally does. Really? Now that I say you're a death wall, you're just gonna work fine? What? I swear I'm not insane. That wall normally, like, kills your combo, what? Okay, maybe I'm insane. Okay, never mind. It's just not giving me any crap right now. Alright, I'm fine with that. You wanna go up here? Oh, no, there it is. See, that's what I'm talking about. So be extremely careful when wall riding that wall, because sometimes that'll happen. Anyway, shrimp that guy, come up here, grind this. Now grind up here, because that'll get you more goals. Grind here. And then you want to grind that ledge to get up here, because it's faster than just going off the quarter pipe. Just casually sail across the wire, drop down here, and then grind that. Now you want to make sure you do that all in one combo, because the 10 seagulls have to be done in one combo. So I'll get you the boardwalk grind combo, the drain the pool, and seagull scatter all in one little line there. After you acid drop after exiting the pool, you can just air off of this and butt slap. Well, preferably butt slap twice. And then grind this can, head down here. Now you don't need to do this, but I'd recommend grabbing more shrimp just because the game's throwing physics are wonky and don't like to work well, so having backup shrimp is good. Hot rod, and then you... Well, sorry, I'm off angle, so it's a little weird. Hot rod, grind this, and then while in the same combo, just lip trick this. Now you don't have to wait for the lip trick to activate, you can just do that and it'll work perfectly fine. As long as it like starts to lip, like that's fine, that's fine. Just as long as you start to lip, it'll count for lipping the mini. After that, come down here, shrimp that guy. Come out here. Guy should be around here-ish. Shrimp him. Shrimp this guy. Come over here, grind this, and then the reason why we had to grind the trash cans is to give this guy his trash. So come over here, then shrimp this guy, and then you're pretty much done down here at the beach. You want to head through this, grab the shrimp vendor, and then find the guy inside of the Aussie place. Not much tech or anything important here, just kind of hot rod through that door, come back here, and then switch to him.
I'll show you what a real Aussie can do.
After this, immediately go over here, and you can just grind the bottom part of the crane, and it'll work just fine for this cutscene. Cutscene will start. Play out. Long-ass cutscene. And then, right here, it puts you in such a place where you can immediately turn left, and around just a little bit. Hit this parking meter. Well, handicap sign rather, not a parking meter. Run it over. And then after you run it over, jump down. Run this one over. And there's a very strange angle, or not strange angle, but a specific angle where you can jump off here and you will hit a handicap. Ah, I missed it. So you can jump at the right angle and the right time, and you'll hit this as you're coming down, so you don't have to like line up with it. And thankfully, because we're in like an anti-gravity minicart, we can just drive upstairs, which is nice. Do the tow hang over the bridge. Have it not count because this game hates us. Not. Or is it a 540 tow hang? I forget. I always do spins just for swag. I think that might actually be part of the mission though. Wow, I'm failing this. I swear it's not this hard. Hello, Shippo. Oh. Get over this. Okay, so this game's big. I'm being bad right now. Sorry about that. That still didn't count? Hello? There we go. Alright. So, don't fail it 20 times. That's not part of the run. Come over here. Get this handicap sign. And you can immediately turn around and jump over this planter. And just head straight for this line. Turn around. Grab Mike V. Now right here. What you can do is hop over here in Hot Rod. Or grind the planter. Both are fine. Come up here. Grab the TC thing. And then immediately turn left here. Oh, whoops. With here. Jump up. Go to the Paradise place again. And right here, you want to immediately turn right, grind this, and then you can just land on this. You don't actually have to grind it. So just land on it, and it'll count for the combo. Come back out here. And this is why you grabbed the shrimp vendor earlier, since he's right here. Then after grabbing the shrimp vendor...
Oh, hello.
Hi. How's it going, gamer guy?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
Grind. I'm doing a tutorial on easy all goals.
Oh.
Now, because this Australia has a little section afterwards that you have to do before you move on to the next level, you can't just go into change level and then select New Orleans, because the game doesn't like to keep it that simple. So instead, here, you can select text messages and then select Tony's text, and it'll go to the next section.
Nailed it! Stole his sweet. With those clothes and lame mask.
Okay, so after you turn into Beaverhausen, your two goals are to piss off the beach ladies with the seagulls, and then go over to the construction workers and beaver blast them. The fastest way to get up to the line with the seagulls is to go up here, grind the lifeguard tower, and then jump off here to the line. If you jump off at the right angle, you can just start grinding it, and you don't have to grab onto it. But that's the fastest way to get up there. And then you go through here. And all the construction workers have extremely wide hitboxes with the Beaver Blast. It's super lenient where you do it, so fastest way is just that little line I did there. Hot Rod down here. Beaver Blast. Go off this can, Beaver Blast, and then it'll immediately go to New Orleans.
Another town, another part. We're talking major moron convention. If you want to get noticed here, try these insane...
Okay, so the float in this level is, yeah, that float that just passed. It can spawn either right next to you or on the other side of the street like it did. This isn't really important now, but just remember which side it is, so when you grab Mike V and then head over to it, you just make sure you check the right side. The float RNG will matter a little bit more in a bit. So, after you switch to the Jester, well, first you gotta jump on the float car, switch to the Jester, come over here, ask to drop into this just by double jumping. After that, go over here, and grab the beads, and then get up here and grab the spat tag. After that, you want to come over here, Beaver Blast in the church, because that's the fastest special trick he has. And then you head over to Mike V. And you can either have him do the same thing, or what you can do is you can just like hot rod right here and he'll immediately stop. After that, check where the shark car is, because if it spawned where it did, normally it'll be a little bit farther behind. But if it spawns right here like it did, you can immediately hop on it and start beating the girls. But if it spawns on the other side, you can manual through the street and get the manhole manuals, and then jump on the car and do this. But since I spawned on my side, I was able to do that first. And miss like 3 manholes. Okay. So after you finish that up, switch back to your character, and then we want to get Balcony Breaker, which is the easiest way to do it. Wall right up here, and jump, do like a wally, and you should get all 3 of them. Thanks, you. So, after getting up here, the boombox is right here. Now this is a more annoying trick to the beat, because it has grabs and flip tricks, and we also need to do a lot more stuff while doing them. So, same thing goes like with the first one. Just try to guess what all the tricks are before you do them. Oh, yeah, here's another thing. You want to... One of the goals is to grind the top of these 3 gas lamps. The fastest way to do this is to grind up here, grind that, wall ride, then jump off at the perfect moment where you get back on the gas lamp. Like that, and then you can go get this one as your 3rd one. That saves a bit of time. Next, we want to sticker slap the boat twice while doing the trick to beat. The reason why we only do it twice and not the 3rd time right now is so that we can get the 3rd one with the voodoo doctor later. Future Ace here, just wanting to say that I am an idiot, and I forgot to mention that you must wally the trolley after getting the riverboat slaps. So make sure you wall ride on the trolley that's moving around. It has a weird hitbox, so try to roll with it if you can. And that's really all I had to say. Don't forget that, because I did, and I felt really stupid. Continue. Which helps them turn around a bit. Okay, I'm probably gonna fail this because I was explaining stuff, so... Oh, no. So, if you don't get that right away, you can continue doing it while doing the next couple set of missions. So you want to come into this alley, grab the spat tag down here, butt slap up or wall ride up, then get this spat tag. And then next we want to sticker slap the water tower. Now what's very strange about this is if you ollie off right here, you'll go too high. So what you have to do is do like a late ollie. So just roll off of it with A, and then late ollie to sticker slap it. Stay up on the roofs, and then we want to go over to this next roof over here. This spat tag. Drop down here, get another spat tag. Well, actually get it. Then head back up. Now, something very cool is that we're going to use the same trick we used in Berlin with the retry goal. So, you want to start the spine combo, but don't actually finish it. Go up here and get this billboard. Now this will take a very long time because New Orleans is extremely laggy on Windows 10 and Nvidia cards. So we wait for this cutscene to finish. Then we can immediately just retry last goal, and then do the spine transfer combo. So right here I'd recommend getting stats you haven't built up yet, such as backside roll, backflips, grabs and combos, whatnot, for more stuff. And so after you finish that, you could spine up here for the next mission. Spine across the street, and then for the birds, you can just go off this and then acid drop, then boneless up and get all the birds. You can do it in one jump if you angle yourself right, where you get 2, and then you can get off your board and move slightly to one direction and get the 3rd one in one jump. But if you fail, there's this little car wash here that's a good backup, and you can just try again with the same process, like such. Now, after that, we are put right next to the crypts, which is very convenient. So we can just start doing the crypts, grind this. And to get this one, the most efficient way to do it is to air out of this ramp, and then grind the, well, don't do an air manual. Then grind the top of it. Grind this crypt. Drop off the rail, instead of just ollieing off, just drop off the rail, go down here, and then jump up here. One thing I should mention is, like, right now it's giving a small little lull before it actually starts the cutscene. If you drop off that big crypt and get the last one in time, it will immediately start the cutscene, and it saves a bit of time, but you have to be extremely quick. So you have to drop off the rail, grind it, and then grind the next one perfectly, and you'll save around 2 to 3 seconds. But right now, it's playing the cutscene normally. And you'll always spawn right here, and we want to immediately go to the Voodoo Doctor. So, build up special for a bit of speed, then come talk to him. Next part is very simple. You just have to hold A and run at zombies. Not much to it. Kind of roll them over. And then come over here, smack that, and then turn around. It's a lot easier than trying to turn around like that. It's just sloppy and I don't know. I just find it a lot smoother and more efficient to just get that riverboat slap right there. Right here you can air out, but I should note, if you didn't get a perfect angle like I did, you will hit a wall and bail unless you level out perfectly. So just be aware of that. Grab this guy back here. This lady. Jump over the pit. Jump over this. And then do a super... Oh, well, don't bail. Then do a Superman seat grab over the trash. And then we're done with the Voodoo Doctor, thankfully. So he's not too bad. So right here, the fastest way to do this is... Assuming you haven't bailed and you still have special after the Voodoo Doctor, you can immediately go over here and then do like a Beaver Blast, but, well, not that, whatever I just did. So you can do some sort of butt slap with the trick. Over here, spine, and then not a spin this for the 10 seconds. I'd recommend, if you have the mod, I'd recommend spamming not a spin tricks, which will give you enough points to, when you jump down, go over here, grind over here, get this sign, grind up, drop here, and then stand next to the arcade machine, you go into focus mode, land it, and you'll get your big and focused. So you can land it right after the not spin if you don't trust yourself, but this is the fastest way because the ceiling lets you land it a lot faster. So after that, grab the arcade machine, grind this little spot right here, and then we want to get the last 2 signs, which what I did was the fastest way, but if you get a bad angle, there's always this planner right here to get this last one. Now next we want to spine down here. I'd recommend doing some tricks while you're going down, then jump out, because after you get out of there, you should have enough points to be able to end current run and get the arcade machine. So you want to come over here, and since we haven't done our third special trick for our character, do a Beaver Blast while you do your down right trick to complete that. After that, we're done with Nollins, and we can do
Equalizer's a gnarly all-team
our text
setup.
message.
You pull it off and we're all tied up. The Equalizer's a gnarly all...
So right here, you can just go up here and wall ride up, but the fastest way is to go over here, take this car wash up, well, actually take it up, not jump early, and then wall ride there so you don't go too high in the sky and waste some time. And then there's no tricks here, really, just do it how you normally would. But, except right here, just hold A, you'll have enough speed that you can just hit the spine transfer button, and you'll phase through the helicopter.
This is our last shot to clinch this thing.
Now, Skatopia is a very, very centralized map. You probably will stay up on that top of the mountain for most of the level. So, what we like to do is get most of the stuff out of the way first. So get the spat tags and it's right there. Switch over to Tony.
Let me show you something.
Switch back to your character. And then, after going through the... You want to go through the green shack, but after going through it, immediately jump behind you and to the right. And try to grab this tree. And then you want to get up on this chainsaw, and that'll teleport you down here, which conveniently is right where Ryan Sheckler is. So after switching to Ryan Sheckler, you will switch back to your character again because you have a higher speed stat than both Tony and him. You could jump down here into this alleyway, and then there's a beehive right here. Turn around, grind this fence, get this beehive on the rock wall, jump down, jump up here, and then grind the beehive. Now, the next thing we want to do is something called shack attack. What you have to do is go through one of these shacks, combo all the way down without getting off your board, and then go through the other shack that you didn't start in. There are two ways to do this. One, you can do it the normal way, which is actually a little bit faster on easy. So you go down here, just combo, how you normally would. Make sure you don't bail or get off your board. And you can finish it that way. However, the much cooler way, and a little bit safer if you're not, you know, that trustworthy with yourself, or you're playing on sick, is you can grab this ledge, and what we can do is something called a shimmy warp. So if you continue to hold right, well, don't grab up. Go down, and then go down till you can't anymore while you're hanging on. Then if you hold back on your control stick, you'll enter this glitch-like state where you are hanging like on seemingly nothing. So, one weird thing is right here, so just stand on the side of the ramp, and if you put in the acid drop input at the right angle, oh, well. The goal is to not actually acid drop, so let me try and demonstrate it correctly. Here, and if you do it correctly, yes, your character should just jump forward like that out of the animation. Now, don't get back on your board yet. So basically what you have done is you set essentially a waypoint on where you want to teleport to. Or where, if you get back on your board, you will move back towards that waypoint you set. So what you can do is go through this first shack, make sure it's the red one, over here, immediately get back on your board, and then you can hold grind, manual, and then you're done with the shack attack. It's a little bit slower to set that up, but it looks a lot cooler and is a lot safer. So after you come out of the green shack, try to, if you can, get off your board and go up here and grab this tree again. But this time, instead of just getting on the top, you want to not spin the top, acid drop, but make sure to acid drop in a direction where it's towards the billboard on the side, so like that. And then land on the billboard. It should give you the mission, then you can tag the billboard, and you'll be right next to Bigfoot. After getting the Bigfoot, get up here, spat tag, then switch to Bigfoot. That glitch was called a shimmy warp. Essentially, it's just a glitch where you can like set a point where like your character goes back to after you go through a portal. Or actually, just whenever, but it's more efficient if you go through the shack first. So after getting Bigfoot, you can just do a Skatopia sign transfer, which you don't actually have to ollie for. You can just hold A and you'll get it just fine. Assuming you don't bail like I did. Come over here, flip up this. Now right here is something a little hard to time because of Bigfoot's weird speed. You want to manual up that and then immediately start the lumberjack combo if you can. Although it's a little hard because sometimes you'll jump too early or too late and it's just very difficult. And just finish up the lumberjack combo. Immediately turn around. You could flip over this one. And then what you can do here is just drop down to the street and then jump up, or you can butt slap over it, either or, doesn't really matter. Get this plant, and then on your way back to your character, get this beehive on the wall, by wall riding it, and then you're done with Bigfoot. So after getting back to your character, the first thing you'll want to do is head up to this zip line, acid drop, and that'll give you that mission. Now, you've already seen a couple times where a couple instances where we purposely failed a goal and then use retry last goal to warp back to it. You are going to abuse the hell out of this in Skatopia. So, get over here, grind this, and immediately make sure you get off your board so that you failed the downhill line. And that will give you the option to retry last goal and teleport back up to the top. So, from here, we can do every single mission we can do from the top of here and just teleport back when we're done with it. So, we can do the weather balloon, which is very simple. Up here, grab it. You can immediately retry last goal. Another very simple one is to come over here, grind, scrape the last hive, and then come back over here, and we can do the zipline bomb. And immediately after doing that, we can go over the house. Make sure you jump to the left a little bit. And you don't have to wait to land over the house. You can just wait until you've gotten the gap and it will count. As you can see right there. Now, I'm glad this car is right here because I want to explain a trick with the downhill manual. I explained this in Boston, where the weird glitch where if you hot rod after or grind after skitching a car, it'll give you a weird speed boost. Same thing applies here. So what you can do is you need to manual before that weird hose on the ground line. So you get on here, sketch. You don't even have to have the car move. Just do it, and then you can see I'm going like lightning fast. Then it wears off, and then you just finish it up. Boom. Very easy. So the car will not always be there, but since you have so many options of missions to do while you're up here, you can just wait until you have the car in your spawn, and then do it there. Now, here's another trick to do with a very long one, normally. For, instead of just grinding all the way down the electric wire, which you could still do, that's perfectly fine, but the faster way to do it is grind up here, manual after jumping off, be on here, grind down this, make sure you grind down that, go down here, then finish up the grind. If for whatever reason, that will count. Shouts the guy with the lightsaber for discovering that. Just make sure you don't get off your board while doing it, or for whatever reason it will not count. And you have to grind down that because of the weird detection it has. So after that, retry last goal. See, what else have I not done yet? Oh yes, this, oh, nice car. The manual right here. Make sure you jump a little bit earlier than you think you need to off that, or it will not detect for whatever reason. And then the last thing we have to do up here is come over here, angle yourself right here so that you go off this garbage pile, air up to the top of the roof, and ignite the firework. I will mention, if you somehow mess up the jump and it just like doesn't detect or you like miss, wait till your board is not on fire anymore to attempt to jump off it again. Whatever reason, if your board is still on fire, it will not give you the boost. I'm gonna see if I can demonstrate that, or maybe I'm just full of crap. Let's see, like I failed it there, and if I try to go off with this again, oh, okay, I guess it did work. Maybe I'm just full of crap. Anyway, that's just what I've noticed, so if that does happen to you, just don't be surprised. And then while we're up here, we can grab that, and then go over here, grab this spat tag, and retry last go. Oh, actually, I forgot to mention something. Sorry. After getting Shack Attack, you want to drop down here, and before going to the tree to not spin it, grab the spat tag, jump up, get up here, and then do the not spin and drop down to the billboard. I'm sorry I should have mentioned that earlier. Just try to make a mental note of that. Now, we've done every single goal we could have done up here with the retry goal. So next, we can just go over here, and then acid drop, or spine in the mine, and then immediately hit our grab button and we could start the high score. So, what I like to do is not that. I like to head over here, get some points. Okay, so do the grab special, do a hot rod, gain some points, and get enough points so when you get back up here, well, do it quickly though. So you get 50,000 points by up here, and then you can end current run, and make sure you don't screw up the score in case you screw up this stuff. So next is the downhill line. Thankfully you don't have to stay on your board for this, and you can get off of it if you so choose. Just be careful that you don't fail it, because it is quite easy to do so, because of these weird grinds it makes you do. After that, the last thing we have to do is spine down here. And then we're done with our portion of Skatopia. After that, we can accept our text message again because we have more to do. So, now we get to take the role as Bam Margera and blow up Skatopia, which is fun. So we want to build special, hot rod up here. And you just want to kind of follow in a line all of the rockets. So, not spin that. You come up here, grind down this. Come over here and just jump on all the boxes. Very simple. And then, here's where the tech comes in a bit. So right here, normally what they expect you to do is like jump up here and jump up on top of the bomb that way. What we can do is, since this ledge is like a ledge, you can butt slap off it. Well, assuming you do it correctly, and not like I just did. You can butt slap off of it, and if you get the right angle, see that was kind of bad, try to head more towards the left. if you get the right angle, you can just get on top of it and kind of sail over it. Then after that, you want to spine down here, not on top of that, down here. And if you jump off before you get up here, you can just grind it like that.
We gotta get out of here. Let's take the critters with us.
Now, Tony is... what they normally expect you to do is to just go down the cliff like this and pick up all the dogs and whatnot. But that's boring, that's slow, that's no fun. Let me wait for the timer to run out. So what we want to do is head over here. Well, not do that. Get over here. Kind of hard. Grind this, and then immediately jump down, and then we're put right next to the other dogs, and we can just hot rod to victory. Barely escape enough time. And then this is the final leg of the game. Just hot rod down toward the Skatopia sign, and boom, you're done. Time is timed like, oh, I forgot a goal. Oh boy. What did I forget? Did I forget Nolans? Oh, I forgot the Wally of the trolley. Lol. How did I forget that? So yeah, just do that. And then you're done.